Well, the steep rise in fuel prices has pushed up the transport vehicle and food costs. Today, we're looking at how South Africans are currently coping with all these increases. Are they selling their luxury vehicles for cheaper options? Are they carpooling or even using public transport to save on fuel? My partner in news, Gareth Edwards, is at the We Buy Cars at the Dome in Johannesburg this very morning. G-Dog, good morning to you, and obviously great to have you back with us. I'm absolutely so not jealous that you are in a Ferrari this morning, but that's exactly what we're talking about, luxury vehicles. Are we seeing more people, selling the luxury vehicles for cheaper options just to tighten their belts? How are they doing on fuel costs? What do you have for us from where you stand?
Yeah, absolutely. So first of all, I think it's time for me to give back the toy. But this is a completely unrealistic vehicle. And the reason I wanted to sit in this, because it's a Ferrari. Like, who wouldn't want to do that? I mean, just look at the keys on this thing. I mean, this is great. But the point is, people are selling their cars like this, Trimza, and there's lots of them as well. I didn't realize how low this car is. I'm showing my age. So something like this, you can imagine the fuel cost behind it. So it's all good and well to have a car like this, but I want to show you what a car like this one will set you back. And this is the entire reason we're doing this. Take a look at what this little red toy will cost you, Tums. It's in your color, so I know you'd love it. 3.271 million rand for something like this. And that is not even trying to pay the insurance on this car. It's not even trying to fill this car up, because let's be honest, you are not going to drive this car gently or slowly. It's going to be costing you a fortune to run. In fact, there is a story behind this. I don't know the lady's name, but the lady, I understand, with this car had actually given the car up because of the cost of running it. And whether she didn't like the car, I don't know, but it was the costs of running this. And she could have made a cool 3 million rand off or something like that. So I wanted to use it. As much fun as it would be to drive, they wouldn't trust me enough. But we have to talk about cars like that, because that is what We Buy Cars at the moment is busy seeing. So you were asking about how many people are selling cars, how many people are buying cars. Under this roof, over 1,000 cars, we're told. And as I asked Teddy to turn around for me, this is where most people are going to be looking. So they're going from the big SUVs, the big fancy sports cars, to the smaller cars like this. So I understand, according to We Buy Cars, that they're doing about 70, at this particular branch, about 70 cars that are sold every day, and about 70 cars that are traded in every single day as well. So this is still your medium range cars. And the reason this is so important for us to look at is this. If we go over one more, where's my car here from the Northwest, Teddy? This is one of the most popular kinds of cars, not this brand, not this size, but people are trading in the big fancy German cars for something like this. But the whole point, what we're talking about, is how do you do that? When is the right time to be trading in your cars? And from what we've spoken about with Maya Fisher-French, financial journalist, she's also spoken to us about rather get hold of your bank. If you are in a position to rather trade down, you see, most people trade up, but a lot of people are trading down. They're coming in with perfectly good vehicles. There's nothing wrong with them to a place like We Buy Cars, and they're trading them down to something smaller. Because in the end, what do you really need from a car? Cars like this have all the bells and whistles really that you need. You might not have the status behind it, of course, but it will get you to work as quickly as possible. If it's highway driving, we're hearing reports of about 17 kilometers per litre. That is significant compared to what people in 4x4s, for example, are driving. Now, the reason I want to talk about numbers for a second, I've actually taken a couple of stats down here very, very quickly. Let me talk to you about what is happening with diesel at the moment as well. And just to give you a sense of what that is looking like. So diesel, if I take us back all the way to beginning of the year, a litre of a diesel 50, so the good diesel for the diesel drivers out there, was just over 17 rand. Okay, it's now 24 rand 17, Tumza. And then if we take a look at 95, beginning of this year on the 5th of January, it was 19 rand 36. Then come February, we saw a slight increase to 19 rand 89 for a litre of 95. And then it jumped up. Then we started seeing the jumps, didn't we? Went from 19 rand 89 to 21 rand 35. And now we're sitting at 23 rand 94. Now here is the issue, and this is why this is so important, is we know there's going to be a fuel increase. I'm speaking to Leighton Beard from the AA later. There's going to be another fuel price increase between 1 rand 50 and 2 rand. Most expectations are 1 rand 75. That's going to come into play around about the first week of July. Then we know, of course, that fuel levy issue. Right now there is a fuel levy reduction. Government has put that in place from the finance minister. That's going to come to an end at the end of August. For now, that is the plan. So you can add another R3 to that. So 23 Rand, 94, you can add R3 to that. Here's the real issue, Tumza, here's the real kicker. And I'm not sure if many people know this. This is from the AA website, 23 Rand 94. This is a recommended retail price. It doesn't mean every petrol station is charging that. They can't charge less than this, but they can charge whatever they want. So just around 7 o'clock this morning, about 7:05, I'm going to speak to Leighton Beard, because if you're filling up your car, what you actually need to do is check the price of the fuel. I personally have found one particular garage brand to be much cheaper when it comes to diesel. I drive a diesel car, much cheaper on diesel than the garage around the corner from me. And I'm talking about a 2 to 3 Rand difference as well. So that's why we're doing this. We're going to talk about the cars, how you're able to downgrade later, as Teddy shows you some of the options as well, as I say goodbye to you, Tumza, to downgrade. If you can, and you think it's a good idea, come and talk to the guys here, get hold of your bank, see what you can do, because the price of fuel is not coming down. And as you say, what are your options? Drive a smaller car, carpool, public transport. Those are issues we'll unpack a little bit later, Tumza, but I'm going to speak to Leighton Beard just after 7 o'clock from the AA about the price of fuel. How much worse is it going to get? Bad enough for you to maybe come here and get something a little bit smaller and not one of those. No Ferrari, sorry.
No. I thought you'd mention a bicycle. I mean, you've been telling me to get one for so long, Gareth, and that could be an option. That could be an option, yeah. You know, just cycling to work and getting in a bit of exercise. And all right, partner, I have to leave it there. We'll come back to you, of course. Gareth Edwards are for us at the We Buy Cars showroom in Johannesburg, right at the Dome. And that's exactly why we're having this conversation, because we're trying to see the impact of, you know, the fuel price increases on you, your car, your pocket. What are you doing? Carpooling, getting to public transport, downgrading. How much are the costs associated to just your car alone on your pocket? We'll be sure to get back to Gareth Edwards a bit later.